Is this even recording now? There we go. So this is question number 3 from section 7.1. We'll look at B and C. And it says to identify the figures in each flag and describe the figure in as many ways as you can. So let's look first at this one here, Bosnia-Herzegovina. What shapes do we have? Well, clearly here we have a rectangle. Whoops. We have a rectangle. And the key with the rectangle is that opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are parallel. Did I spell that right? And equal in length. In length. Whoops. And all angles are equal. They're all 90 degrees. So that's one way that you would describe that shape. It's a rectangle, that's the name. Opposite sides are equal and also parallel. What about this triangle here? If we draw that out, should be able to find a triangle here. It looks kind of like this triangle, just flipped. So if we flip this triangle here, see if I can flip it left, right. Whoops. Now you got to flip it up, down. There we go. That looks like the same kind of triangle here. Well, it looks like over here, this side here, and that side there are the same length. And it looks like this is a right angle. So when we have two sides equal in a triangle, that becomes an isosceles triangle. So then we would have an isosceles triangle. Then we have this blue shape here, and that looks like a trapezoid. I'm going to make a new page for that and draw that out here. It looks like this. I'm a little bit off. Maybe that's not such a good one. Let's try that again. There we go. That's a bit better. So that's a trapezoid. And in a trapezoid, here's the spelling of trapezoid. Oops, my pen just decided to die on me. Trapezoid. There we go. In a trapezoid, two sides, opposite sides, one set of opposite sides are parallel, and then the others are not. So that's a trapezoid. And then the last shape we have here, so here's our trapezoid. Over here, I'm just going to write a T for trapezoid. So we have a trapezoid. Over here, we have an isosceles triangle. At the end, we have a rectangle. And then we have these stars. And the star over here, we can see has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sides. So I'll actually draw that on another page over here. Let's see where my star is. There's the star. So I have a star here, and it's got 10 sides. That makes it a decagon. Decagon. And in this case, we'd probably want to call it an irregular decagon, because not all the angles are equal. All the side lengths are equal, so I could put these little lines here indicating that all the side lengths are the same. But we can see here that there's two different angles. There's this angle here at each point. Those are all the same. But then you've got these other angles here, these reflex angles, 2, 3, 4, 5. These angles are all greater than 180 degrees, and those are different. So once you have one thing different, one angle different, or one side different, it is automatically irregular. So to recap, we have for this big shape, we have a trapezoid, we have an irregular decagon, we have an isosceles triangle, and a rectangle. Let's see, instead of making such a big mess on the next one, I can just copy this and move it to a clean page. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. So now what about this one over here? This one has a few interesting shapes. Over here, looks like we have another isosceles triangle. So another isosceles triangle with two sides being equal. Not those particular sides. I'll draw it right on the shape. So it looks like those two sides are equal. Then we have this triangle out here. And it looks like all three sides are different, but it has a right angle. So that is going to be a right triangle. So that's a right triangle, and this is the same, this one here. And then we have this shape in the middle, which is kind of interesting. Looks like this. See if I can draw it well. Boom, boom. Kind of like that. That's actually a version of a kite. This shape here is called a kite. It looks like a kite. But this one up top, so this is a kite over here. And what makes a kite is if the sides, it's a four-sided figure, first of all, so it's a quadrilateral. And the sides that are touching each other, two sides are the same, and the other two sides are also equal in length. So two pairs of, we say, adjacent sides. Adjacent means touching, are equal. And this top one is also a kite because this side is touching this side at this vertex, and they're the same length. And this side are the same length as well. So you could call this a kite or an irregular quadrilateral. Either one of those would be okay.